Hello, my name is Sean Hart, and today we'll be talking about how aperture can affect depth of field. Aperture controls how much light is let into the lens of your camera. The higher the aperture, the less there will be allowed into your lens, and the lower the aperture, the more light there will be let in. If you have a shallow depth of field, only the subject of the scene will be in focus while everything else is blurry, as shown in this image. Notice how this bottle of Febreze is clear in focus while everything in the background is blurry. Here's an example of an image with a deep depth of field. Not only is the Febreze bottle in focus once again, but instead of everything else being blurry, everything else, including the Febreze, is in focus. Now, what does aperture have to do with depth of field? I'll show you right now. Here we are viewing the same image we saw the first time with the shallow depth of field, except this time we can see the manual exposures of the camera at the moment of the picture. Ignore the other settings and focus on the point that says f5.6. By lowering the aperture, we can make the depth of field more shallow, which makes the scene focus on one specific object while everything else is out of focus. Here we have the image with the higher depth of field. Notice how now that everything else is focused, the aperture is set to f22, a lot higher than the previous image. With this setting a lot higher, the depth of field is much deeper. Pretty simple. When you lower the aperture manually, the depth of field becomes more shallow, making it possible to only focus on one object at a time in your scene. And when you raise the aperture, the depth of field becomes more deep, making everything in your shot in focus. You can use different depths of fields to your liking to make shots more valuable, depending on the situation of your scene. I'm Sean Hart. Thanks for watching.